introducing Mr. Pat Ransom.
Thank you, Robert, for giving me the opportunity to talk about my favorite hobby, which is car restoration, kind of combined with going to car shows. And it's my favorite hobby for three specific reasons. One thing is that it gives me a sense of accomplishment. You know, if you're like me, you go searching for things to do that give you a sense of accomplishment. When I got in my car, my sophomore year of high school, it was a '65 Mustang. Had a spray can paint job of just standard red, like almost like candy apple red, but you know, really flat color, but minor detail there. And over 4 years, I transformed that car into what is something that looks like it came straight out of 1965. It's a hunter green, it's kind of dark green, and everything was working as it would have come out of the factory. So the day that I finished that car, I realized that I have sort of an innate ability to fix things, to build things, and I got that sense of accomplishment. One of the other points is that as taking up car restoration as a hobby and going to car shows, you realize there's a lot. The aesthetics of things are just a lot better looking, at least in my experience, for cars. That cars these days, they don't look exactly different per se. You go out to a parking lot out there, and I guarantee you they're all going to look what I like to call is eggs on wheels. I mean, they're all going to be really curve shaped and everything, but you don't get just a variety of just a more interesting experience, a more variety of sights. So you get to see a lot of interesting things. Third point about this, why this hobby is one of my favorites is it's sort of it's very methodic. When you're working working on a car, the entire process is a lot simpler than working on a new car. If you go out to almost any car out there, I guarantee you could not stand in the engine bay, the part where the car is. It's going to be a lot harder to work on. You're going to get more. You probably get more frustrated. It's not going to be maybe something you would carry through with, but it's a lot simpler, and you get again go back to that sense of accomplishment. You kind of get sort of a sense of you're doing something. Say maybe your radiator or your car's overheating. You can actually go out to the car and you can either you can just flush it out by hand, whereas with cars these days you have to go out and you have to ask somebody, please flush the radiator, the whole entire cooling system, you have to get something replaced. You pay somebody else to do it. With newer cars, you can't exactly sit there in an afternoon, majority of the time, and fix something. But with this hobby, you actually can get your hands dirty and do something, as opposed to maybe passing it off to someone else. It again ties back into that whole sense of accomplishment. So again, the whole sense of accomplishment, getting to see a whole variety of, experience a whole variety of different aesthetic qualities from like the 1950s up through 70s, 80s, and you see kind of how that changed, and also the whole ease of working on it is the reason why car restoration and going to car shows is my favorite hobby. Thank you.